Just to contradict Deborah a little bit, in 5 minutes obviously I can't tell you about the whole principle of TILT, but I want to talk to you about the first one. TILT stands for a four-step process, which is to trust, to be able to put yourself into a position of influence, to be able to create leverage, and then to be able to identify what are the triggers that are going to make the customer buy for you at that particular point in time. I just want to talk about the first one, which is trust. And I've been writing a lot of articles over the last couple of months about trust because I think it's something which is very, very relevant. And I'd suggest that whilst we've taken trust for granted a little bit, nowadays in these current economic circumstances, I think trust has probably become top of mind for people. And why is that? Because it's in the media. You open up the papers and there's pictures of Bernard Madoff being dragged off to jail. There's pictures of these poor people with holes in their kitchen walls because they trusted that Cleanmate was going to deliver their appliances to them. There's people worrying about having to sell their house because they trusted Storm Financial with their financial future. And I believe when it's front of mind, then all of a sudden it becomes one of the defining factors in people's decision-making process. All other things being equal, wouldn't it be honest? All other things being equal, if you're going to buy from someone, at the end of the day you're going to buy from the person that you trust most. And I'd just like to share with you the first principle of TILT, which is how we can build trust. And my suggestion is the best way you can build trust is by demonstrating it. How trustworthy are you? I believe that you're trustworthy enough already. If you're not, you probably shouldn't be in this room. It's not about being more trustworthy to be able to build trust. It's about being able to identify ways in which you can demonstrate that trust. And I've got a basic maximum under which I live my life, and that's called people that don't trust can't be trusted. And so I believe what I need to do is I need to go out there and demonstrate trust to myself. Let me show you a little story. Happened only about 2 weeks ago. Business about 2 suburbs away from here. I'd gone in there. We were looking for a new piece of computer equipment. I was there with a business colleague from the United Kingdom, and we needed to purchase this piece of equipment. We'd gone in. I called up the supplier. He'd said, well, we don't actually normally stock that one, but we do have the other models. If you'd like to come and have a look at them. We went in there, we had a look at it. After discussions with him, he agreed with me that the model that I'd chosen, the one that he didn't have in stock, was the right one for me. And so he said, well, we'll need to order it in. It's going to take about 3 or 4 days. And so I immediately started pulling out my wallet, getting my credit card ready to say, well, okay, how much of a deposit do you want? And he looked at me and said, don't worry about it. I trust you. You'll come back. And I was shocked. I almost didn't really know how to continue the conversation. We agreed. I walked out, and you can imagine what was the topic of conversation with myself and my business colleague from the UK. We both agreed that we couldn't remember a time when we had met someone and 10 minutes later they were telling us that they trusted us enough to be able to make a commitment on behalf of their business. I told everyone that I met over the next 2 days about that particular person. 3 days later, when he rang me and said it was in, the product was in, I went there and purchased it from him. I also purchased enough consumables that actually trebled the size of that order. Did I compare the price of the consumables to others? No, I didn't. Why? Because I trusted him. Why did I trust him? Because he trusted me. Now, if you apply this principle, yes, occasionally it's going to come alright. But what's the alternative? Would you like to go out there and be one of these people who occasionally has had their trust betrayed, and then as a reaction to that, they lose the ability to trust? Samuel Johnson, one of the great providers of quotes for us speakers, has said, it is far better to occasionally be cheated than to lose the ability to trust. And so what I'm suggesting is in our society, in our community nowadays, we not only need to be able to find ways of being able to put trust at the top of the list, recognising it's one of the first criteria that people are going to use to be able to make a buying decision. We need to be able to find ways in which we can demonstrate that trust. We need to find ways in which we can appear to be more trustworthy, because trust is an interesting thing. You don't build more trust by becoming more trustworthy. I'm working on the assumption that you're trustworthy enough already. You build trust by being able to find ways of demonstrating that, by not taking it for granted. And I believe in these current times, we can't take trust for granted. We need to be able to demonstrate that. And I'd suggest in this room, right here, right now, is a great way for you to start. So I'd like you to turn to the person next to you, and I'd like you to repeat after me. You look like a trustworthy person. What can I do to help you to trust me more? And I'll look for you to be able to continue that conversation. And the great thing about networking functions, I think it is a great way for us to be able to get out there and demonstrate that trust first. To be able to look about how we might be able to hand out a referral without looking about how we can get a referral back. This is a great opportunity for you to be able to start. And so why not start this morning?
Thank you. Thank you.